What's up, guys? The DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time I'm going to be going over the tier list that I posted myself playing yesterday. I've probably had like 50 DMs about the list. I think the deck's actually like a really cool deck overall. It's honestly a really fun deck too, compared to a lot of these other decks. Like, you know, I've been playing Raziel for months, so to switch from like Raziel to 60 card tier, like this deck's just infinitely more fun. I do think this deck's actually a pretty decent deck overall. And I think it only gets better from here in this specific format, like pre-post Allen. So I think that the deck has high potential. I think that the deck list needs to get better though. I think there's only like improvements to be made on the deck list from here. I've been working on the deck a little bit. I've played, I think, 30 matches on DB ladder, like this new format, and I've gone 30-7. And I think some of those losses could have been prevented if I played better. Some of them were just like unpreventable, especially because of like how my deck list was built at the time. But okay, let's hop into the actual deck list now, and then I'm gonna probably show some combos at the end, maybe like a test hand or two. But we can see Foolish Burial Goods. I think this is like, okay, well, I technically I think Grass Looks Greener is the best starter in the deck. Like, activate this card is like, it's the absolute stones. Like, if this card resolves, like, you almost just never lose those games. I think I've only lost one game that I've resolved Grass, and that was to DDG. And that doesn't even count, right? It's like activating Grass and they change Shifter, like, you just lose the game, it doesn't matter. But this card is like huge. Like, being able to activate this card going first and just say mill 20, like, mill 20 is crazy. Or you activate this card going second, and now it's like mill 30. Like, mill 30 is crazy. Like, if I mill 30, like, I should not be losing that game. I should not be losing that game. It almost doesn't matter what's on your board or what's in your hand. If I mill 30, there's probably a way for me to, like, sneak game in. But okay, so 3 Foolish Burial Goods. This is a very good starter. You can use this. Normally, you dump Rainbow Bridge, and then Rainbow Bridge gets you a field spell plus the turtle. A lot of the time for the first field spell search, I'm actually searching the Pressured Planet to summon Fenrir, because you can leave this on field the entire turn. This is like an extra interruption on your end board while also searching out Tearlament Kashtira. Sometimes you do just search the Tear Planet though, because it is nice to have this on your end board as an extra piece of interruption. But you can also get to Tear Planet later on through Trivy Karma, but this one's a little bit more risky, because if you Foolish Goods into this is only a 1 of. So there's no like guarantee that you're gonna mill it. The ratios on the good mills have been changing a bunch, so it's been a little interesting. Next, Imseti. I really like playing the Horus package in this deck. I was playing the Millennium package before. The Millennium package is pretty good. It gives you a rank 8 plus a level 6, which also then sets you up to make a Pilgrim Reaper. So that I really like. I really do like what those cards give you. What I don't like about them is that they're the Earth attribute, so you can't fuse with them, plus a tier name to make something like Mud Dragon. And I also don't like that they don't work with the traps, because the Millennium stuff has to place monsters from hand, and you can't place like Rainbow Bridge, Solic, Trivy Karma, Paradise, Black Oat Laughs. Like, you can't use any of these cards with Millennium, but you can use all of these with Imseti, King Sark, or Walls of the Imperial Tomb. And I also play 1 Walls of the Imperial Tomb because I play Rainbow Bridge, so I have so many ways to like search different field spells. There's also times where you'll have Planet on field, and then you'll mill this, and then you can use this to search Walls of the Imperial Tomb for follow-up. So that way on the follow-up turn, you can just like activate this card, and it threatens 2 big bodies on the field. 3 Fenrir, because this can search Tier Cache. And this is also like a going second type card. I think this card's just nice, the fact that it searches Tier Cache. I really like it when Fenrir searches Engine. I think when Fenrir searches Engine, this card's like bonkers. So I really like playing this card at multiples. And then also it helps with some of your other stuff too, like your Imseti, like being able to search and then giving yourself a free discard if you need it. Because you can just Fenrir search Fenrir and then discard the Fenrir that you search. That also puts something in name for your Tier Cache. Grass, obviously. Pressured Planet to search Fenrir. Comes up with Rainbow Bridge 2, like I said. Or Terraforming. Terraforming has like 4 different field spells to search, so very strong. Well, I guess it's only 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, but it's still very strong with all the different options that you have. Left Arm Offering for more Grass Looks Greener. I think that you have a 30% chance of seeing Grass Looks Greener going first, and then you have a 55% chance of seeing it going second because you draw the 6 card, and now Thrust is also a real card that you can draw for Grass Looks Greener. So even though you're only resolving it like 30% going first and 55% going second, whenever you do resolve this card, you basically just win the game. And it may not look like you'll draw this card very often, but you actually do get access to this card like fairly often, especially going second. Going first, you don't really need to activate Grass. You can kind of just like play through most hand traps anyways. Like it really depends on your hands. Sometimes your hands are kind of weak because you draw a lot of your good mills and not a lot of your good draws. And because of that, you can get stopped by like double imperm or something. But if your hand has like a healthy combination of both, or like a lot of just the good draws, you can play through like infinite hand traps outside of like the turn hand traps like Fua, Droll, stuff like that. And then I play 3 Engraver. I play the Fiendsmith stuff. The Fiendsmith stuff is like absolutely needed for this deck. Like being able to turn any 2 bodies into like Moon, Requiem, Lacrima. So now you also have like Lacrima follow-up plus Lacrima interruption. And then on top of that, you get to go like Sequence, Aerial Eater, Dump. And then this gives you the option between Hollow, Shyama, or Soul Scissors. And then you can dump Shyama if you're going to set up Kaleido Heart and you don't have Planet set up. You can dump Hollow to mill extra cards. Like, think about it like this. Like, if you look at the extra deck, you see Vampire and Pilgrim. This mills 4, this mills 5, right? But also now your Fiendsmith stuff in the Aerial Eater also is milling like 4 cards. So now you have all these like mill 5, mill 4, mill 4 just in the extra deck, and that's not even the main deck. So you have so much utility in the extra deck to be able to mill extra cards. And it really does help a lot, like being able to just mill more and more and more and more. But I play Triple Engraver. It's a good draw. It's also a good mill. Especially if you mill like multiples. Like you might think like, oh, Engraver's only a good mill if you mill like Engraver plus Lurie. But if you mill 1 Light Fiend, then if you go into Moon, then you can go into the Sequence Aerial Eater combo without messing up your Lacrima Paradise. So that actually does help. Then Lacrima, Lurie, Tract. I thought about bumping Tract up to 2 to see Fiendsmith cards more, but also to make it to where when you draw Engraver plus Tract, it doesn't matter. Which I know this shouldn't come up very often, but it actually has come up like 5 times. But also it's just Tract is a good draw. So I thought about maybe doing that, but technically like Engraver can grab Paradise to get your Necroquip draw if you really need it. I'm not sure if I'll bump that up yet or not. King Sark. I guess it's the same with this card. I thought about bumping it up because like maybe it's just like, you know, you remember the times that it comes up where you draw King Sark plus Samseti or you draw Track plus Engraver just because of how bad it feels. So maybe I gotta like see how much it actually comes up and not just like, you know, let emotions be like, okay, I drew Samseti plus King Sark, maybe I should be playing 2 of those. Then I play 2 Tear Planet. This card it's a fine draw. But you can usually just search this card, and you play 2 of it in case if you mill 1 of it, you're able to search the other one, and that does come up a decent amount, especially if you're going like Grass Looks Greener, and you're milling like an absolute large chunk of your deck, or you know you have like all these other mill type cards in your deck, or you know you're just like milling. You don't want to mill Planet then mill Trivy Karma. You don't want to. You might not even have Shuffler engraved, and you don't want to be forced to use Shuffler to put back your own stuff. You almost always want to hold the Shufflers for the opponent's turn as interruptions. The only time you're really using the Shuffler turn 1 is if you have to like Shuffler put back your Turtle to resolve Rainbow Bridge, or put back field spells to resolve Rainbow Bridge. 3 Rhino. This is like the designated normal summon of the deck. The deck doesn't have that many normal summons overall. This card's a solid normal. You can summon it and it says mill 2, like dump Tier Cash and then mill 2 more. Or you can use it to like, you know, obviously dump a Tier Name and just like fusion summon. 3 Tier Cash, very good card. Banish special, mill 3, it's an extender that mills 3. Then Talons to go with like the thrust, left arm stuff. Being able to grab Talons off of thrust has also come up a few times. I've also drawn thrust plus left arm in some hands, and I'll thrust for Talons, peep the hand, and then go left arm to play around Ash Blossom. Called by, I was side decking this, but I realized I wanted it in the main. Going first or going second, I want to be able to stop Ash Blossom. And then going first, I really want to be able to stop Fua. Droll is also like pretty good. It honestly depends on your hand, and it depends on your mills. Like sometimes Droll isn't that big of a problem, and then other times Droll does feel like a bigger problem, especially while playing into a board. So called by in the main. I already talked about Walls of the Imperial Tomb. Then obviously I play Happy to go with the Horus cards. Okay, then I guess we'll hop up here. I play Turtle because I play Rainbow Bridge. I play each of one name. They're all like good in their own way. Merle is like by far the best one though, because you get access to this off Sprint. But it also means like milling this earlier on in the turn is like the worst, because you want to dump it at the end of the turn with Sprint. So if you mill it early, it's like a bit unfortunate. But your Sprint can also still dump Soul Scissors. So you'll still at least get something to the graveyard. Then I only play one Scream. I don't think this card's actually a good draw in this deck. Like with how I've built it. It's like an okay draw. It's okay. It's not great though. And then it's not even like that crazy of a mill, because you still have to set up tier cards. So like, it's not like every game you get to set up Kaleido Heart. There's some games where you don't get to set this card up at all. So then like searching Solik doesn't really mean the most. But I still play one of it. It definitely comes up as a one of. Being able to dump this off Kaleido Heart, like summon Kaleido Heart, Planet Pop, dump Scream, search Solik, that comes up. Being able to go Trivi Karma, search Scream, like that comes up. You know, you already went through Planet, and now you want like a more aggressive type card like Scream over Solik. And then I play 3 Mally. This card's a really good mill. It just gives you 2 extra bodies. Like being able to mill a card that says like, here's just 2 extra bodies for fun. It's very good, and also it's level 6, so it makes the Pilgrim Reaper a lot easier. Then I play, for 2 Shaddolls in the main, I play a Beast and a Hollow. Hollow is very good. You can dump it off Aerial Eater. And then Beast is also just a really solid mill overall, being able to say draw 1. I was playing Squamata in the deck too. And then I started side decking Squamata, but we'll talk about that more soon. 3 Rainbow Bridge, insane card. I thought about cutting this down. Cause like it really sucks that like this is like your designated Foolish Imperial Goods dump, and then after you mill one of it, the second one to mill is really bad because it doesn't do anything. It's only a once per duel effect. So I've thought about cutting this down. It's really good to mill early, and then once you mill multiple of it, it's really bad. And like drawing, it's also fairly bad. Like, I don't know, I'm pretty conflicted on what ratio this card should be at. But I kept it at 3. It makes it to where you make Kaleido a lot easier, because it gives you the Aqua that you need. Because if you could just go, like, Rhino, dump a tier name, you're always missing 1 Aqua. And this is the Aqua that fills that spot, and then it also searches a field spell. So this card just sounds crazy, right? Like, it fills, like, multiple spots in the deck that you need. 2 Solik, 1 Trivi Karma. I was playing 3 Solik, but this kind of goes back to like, you don't end on tiers all the time. I don't want to mill multiple of the cards with like the same name. Like I'm not trying to mill 2 Solik. I'm trying to mill like 1 Solik plus like, you know, 1 Black Goat. I'm trying to like mix up the mills. And then it's also, like I said, it's just not a good draw overall. Like, it can be fine to draw some of your tier cards and then mill Rhino and Rhino summon back out. But I think if you play the deck, you'll understand. You really want your mills to be like high payoff mills in a lot of scenarios. And sometimes this just isn't the high payoff mill that you need it to be. And then other times you would think like, oh, I'll definitely play 3 of this card, because when it's milled, it adds tier cash, and then it mills 3 more, and it's an extender. So I don't know. I'm conflicted on a lot of these good mill ratios. Like all these cards over here are like the cards that are good to mill, and like these ratios are really tricky, especially in a deck like this. Then one Trivia Karma. I wanted to include at least one of this on the deck, just because it's another like good mill. If you go through Rainbow Bridge and you don't search this, then you have no way to get to this. Trivia Karma. You can also like Foolish Burial Goods dump Trivia Karma if you have like Rainbow Bridge in hand, and then later you can get rid of Rainbow Bridge. There's multiple ways to get rid of this card, by the way. You can Planet Pop it. You can go Desiree to send it. I was playing Agnumde at 1.2, so that way I could link off Desiree turn 1 and then send my set traps, but that really like never came up. Then I play, also like Shyama. Shyama's a big one, because you can also get access to this off Aerial Eater, so you like almost always have access to this to pop your trap cards. But Shyama, it's a level 6, you can dump it off Aerial Eater, makes the Kaleido Heart plays better. I don't know if this card's actually like 100% needed or not. It doesn't come up that often, and then even when I mill it, a lot of the time I'm like, okay, sure, it's like an okay mill, might come up. So I don't know, this card might get cut. Paradise, fantastic card. Very, very, very good in this deck. Very good in a lot of decks, obviously. I play the Shufflers. These are actually really good interruptions, or they're also really good pushers too. Like playing into a board, like if I activate Grass or something on Mill Infinite, having the Shufflers can actually like take away interruptions from my opponent, or like make their Eclipse Twin worse, make it to where like I can try to get rid of their like White Rabbit, so that way they don't have MTP set up. There's a bunch of like little things that come up with these, while also just being like good in your own engine to be able to put stuff back if you need to. Then I play Soul Scissors. You can dump this off Aerial Eater or Sprint. A lot of people don't even know what this card does, and when you have like 30 cards in the graveyard, they might even miss over this. But there's like other interactions with this too, other than your opponent just like not knowing what it does. But when something's destroyed by battle or card effect, a monster, you can special summon this out, and this also includes when you beat over an opponent's monster. So there's also times where I mill this, I'll beat over an opponent's monster, Soul Scissors summon itself out, effect pop another one of their cards, and now this was an extender while also popping a card. And then there's also times where on the opponent's turn I'll have Kaleido Heart set up, and I'll planet pop my own Kaleido, summon back, spin something, Soul Scissors summon back, pop something, or they're trying to out my board, and they'll pop, and then I get Soul Scissors special, and like, this card has actually been pretty solid for me, overall. Surprisingly, this card's been pretty solid for me, overall. And also, another cool thing is when you summon it back, it's already level 2, so you can like go right in the sprint with it. 2 Black Goat Laughs. I was playing more of this. This card's a pretty good mill, especially when you're under like Fua and stuff. But just having this in the graveyard, very good for the opponent's turn, or even on your turn if you mill it into a board. It's another one of those cards that like gets value. Okay, also before I keep going, I've been thinking very inside the box for this deck. Like, I don't think I thought of anything too crazy, right? Like, Soul Scissors, Shyama, Hollowed, Aerial Eater. Like, none of this is, like, that crazy, right? I actually think a lot of this is, like, if you just spent a little bit of time on the deck, you may have gotten to the same point to where I was. So I've decided I'm going to start thinking outside of the box to build this deck. I think there's just got to be, like, it's just got to be, like, not, it can't, like, it probably won't look good, but it might play very good. So, this is, like, this is my current list of the deck. This is my current updated list, 100% updated list. I'm not hiding any goo here. But I'm going to start thinking outside the box, and hopefully my list does, like, a complete 180. Well, not a complete 180, because I've been winning with it. But I hope it does, like, a complete 360, and then it brings me back, and then it's just more dubs. More dubs. Because I think I'm going to look through the entire card pool tonight, and I'm going to find out some random goo in this deck, because I know there's random goo out there. I've been looking for it, and now I got to actually find it. I guess we'll go over the extra deck first. Moon, Requiem, Sequence, Aerial Eater, Desiree, Necro Quip. The first 5 are very standard. Necro Quip, You technically don't need this card, but it does help make Pilgrim Reaper. And then also, something that this card does is it puts a fusion engrave for Dragos to Paleo. So this like guarantees that you can summon Dragos to Paleo by, you know, using this plus a tier name. So that's pretty cool. It comes up too with like Imseti, Engraver, being able to draw one. Pilgrim Reaper, Zombie Vampire, both these cards are very necessary. They're both really good. They just mill infinite cards. And also, you try to leave one of these on field. Like if you go into one of them, you try to leave it on field, so that way you have sprint bounce. Typhon, this is the last card I added to the extra deck, which this spot has been switching around a bunch. Like I said, it was Agnum Day not too long ago. I've tried different cards. I'm not sure what the correct spot is for it yet. But I'm going to try Typhon out some more. Because there have been times where like I'm cracking a board and I'm kind of like exhausting my resources, and I could just like, instead of like trying to like keep pushing further and further, I could try to like just summon Typhon, bounce, beat over a board, you know, out a board by attacking, and then just pass turn and have like interruptions for my opponent's turn. Just play more of like a follow-up grind deck instead of just like a trying to OTK in this spot deck. And I think Typhon can help out with that a bunch. Then I play SP, comes up like every game. Sprint comes up a bunch. Mud Dragon. This card comes up a lot more than you think it would. Just being able to like randomly mill a tier name and then being able to use the effect to put back to summon out Mud Dragon comes up a lot. Just because like I don't play rank 4s or anything, but it just gives you a body. And just like producing a body on board in spots where you typically wouldn't be able to. Like this can be game changing. And then also it does have the effect where you can just like declare attribute and they can no longer target it. Then we have Winda for the Shadal stuff. This comes up a lot. I'll show a combo where you can basically get the Winda every game if you want to. Dragos to Paleo, this comes up a lot too. Being able to put back Mud Dragon or Necroquip or sometimes Aerial Eater. You can also put back Desiree, but that doesn't really come up that often. Putting back Aerial Eater is fine too. Its graveyard effect doesn't come up that often. It's honestly pretty rare that it comes up. But you should know that this card does have a graveyard effect. Because you can summon this by banishing like fiends with higher levels with the same attribute. So you can banish Engraver, like 2 Engraver to summon it. Or you can banish the... am I tripping? There was another one too. Oh, you can banish the Necroquip plus Kaleido Heart because they're both Dark Fiends. So you can banish those. Also, another thing I should talk about too is that Sequence Confusion summon any Fiend monster. So this can summon Aerial Eater, Desiree, or Kaleido Heart. So your Sequence has 3 different targets. And it's actually funny too, because there's been some times where I'll summon this card, I'll use the effect, and my opponent lets it go through. I summon Aerial Eater. This has only come up like once or twice. But I'll summon Aerial Eater, use the effect, and then they're like, oh my gosh, this wasn't a Desiree? Like, I was expecting Sequence in the Desiree, and then they imperm Aerial Eater, and I'm like, bro, you could have imperm Sequence, now you're imperming Aerial Eater, you just gave me a body for free? Like, they're sick. They're sick. But it actually is something that comes up, because people just think, like, oh, okay, make Desiree. But no, like, I'm comboing off my Sequence. And then I play Kaleido Heart, obviously. Okay, so now going over the side deck. 2 Lightning Storm Harpies for just, like, back row decks. Which maybe this should be evenly. I think the 1 Harpies is fine, but maybe, like, a Lightning Storm should be evenly. I think the deck has like a pretty decent matchup in the back row decks anyways. Like I played against like True Draco, and this guy flipped like Gozen, Warlords, had Masterpiece on field, and it took a couple turns, but I was able to eventually like crack it and win the game. So it can take a little bit of time, but your deck does have some like built-in, like your deck has a lot of built-in utility in the main deck. Then I played 3 Drools for big combo decks, 3 Fua. I'll even side this in against a lot of different decks, to be honest. But 3 Droplet. I think some numbers of these are going to change because I found myself, like, when I do my siding, when I go second, I take out, like, 1 Black Goat Laughs, Soul Scissors, the second Planet, and then the 4th card that I've just started siding out was 1 Rainbow Bridge, which I don't know if this is correct or not. But my list has been changing a bunch, so my siding patterns have been changing a bunch. Because before I was taking out the spot for this, but now that's not happening. I also tried taking out Fenrir depending on the matchup. It really depends. Really depends. But you can find a way to side like 6 of these cards in if you're playing against like a bigger combo deck. But I think I'm gonna also potentially start main decking some copies of Droplet in the main, and then yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Start side decking some copies of Droplet in the main, and then in the side deck, take the Droplet spot. Like let's say I put 2 Droplet in the main, right? Then in the side deck, I'm gonna side deck like 2 Shaddoll Squamata, or 1 Squamata, 1 Black Goat Laughs. So that way when I go first, I can take Droplet out because it's not good going first, and put in these other cards that are just good mills. And then Black Goat Laughs is also like a fine draw. Then 3 Ash Blossom. This was 2 Squamata, 1 Black Goat Laughs. When I go first, I take out 3 Thrust, and I put these spots in. But I decided I think it should be Ash Blossom to stop Fua. Because I think I'm losing. Like, there's some games where just like, your deck just like almost folds to Fua. Like, you almost set up nothing through it. And then there's other games where you get Fua'd and you set up infinite through it. So it's like, I decided my go in first card should probably just be Ash Blossom. It's not like the Rust is a good mill anyways, so Ash will also just not be a good mill. I don't think I need to add many good mills to the deck going first. I think I already have a lot of good mills in the deck. I would like to add more going first good mills, because it means when you start milling, there's a higher chance that you're milling just crazier stuff, and you're just like winning the game. But I think Ash to stop Fu is really fine. But okay, I guess I'll hop into like a test hand now or combo. I don't know. We'll find out. But I'll see you in a second. Going over the combo here, all we have is Fiendsmith and Graver, and you can go ahead, discard that, go for Tract in the Lurie, and then you can go Lurie in the Requiem in the Lacrima, dump Engraver, Requiem effect to equip, Engraver, shuffle back, special, go ahead, go for Necro Equip, and then link off. The reason you go for Necro Equip is because this makes it to where if you mill a tier name, you're able to make a Dragos Tapalia for free. Now you're able to go ahead and sequence effect to put back, and then bring out the Aerial Eater effect, a dump Hollow, and then Hollow here will mill 2. I don't mill here in the replay just because like it's not like guaranteed mills. So just pretend you mill 2 blanks there. Then go ahead, make Sprint, and then Sprint effect, dump Merly, and then Merly effect, put itself plus the Hollow back to summon out Winda. You can obviously do this a little differently too. You could also Lacrima, dump the trap card, and then when you go sequence effect, you're able to put back, and you can put back the Requiem, and then now you'll have like Lacrima, sequence, and trap engrave, and that's not like great, but if your opponent plays like Kashtira cards, you can at least trap send and try to keep the window protected. Obviously, if you mill like a tier name at any point, you could do things differently. This isn't like normally how you would just do things. The deck really wings things a lot. That's also why this is the only combo that I'm going over, because I think this is just cool that you can go like sequence in the Aerial Eater and the Sprint in the window. I think that's very, 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 very good to know. But okay, I'm going to go ahead and hop into a test hand now. Alright, and now going over a test hand, I'm going to go ahead and reset the deck. Just give us a random hand here, and we'll go ahead and try playing with it. Okay, this hand is horrible. But it works. So I can go special, search, and then I can go tribute for a Shyama. I can go set Rainbow Bridge, set Trivi Karma, Shyama, pop Rainbow Bridge to then pop Trivi Karma. And then I can go like Rainbow Bridge effect to go search, grab out the turtle, and then I have Trivi Karma that's able to search out field spell, like the tier field spell. But I'm thinking even if I search like Walls of the Imperial Tomb here, is this card even that good? Because I've used a lot of cards to start my combo. Usually you don't have to use this many cards to start, but this hand was really awkward as you saw. And Pressured Planet won't work. This won't really do a whole lot. I guess I could just use it to grab Solic. maybe I just Trivia Karma, grab Solic, and just keep Screaming rotation. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. So go ahead, grab that out. And I'm not going to grab out Solic now because I do want to mill Solic in this turn. So I'll hold the Trivia Karma until closer towards the end. Now I can go activate Planet. Go search. I already normal summon, so I'm going to grab out the Shade there. Then I'm going to go activate Scream, so that way I'm able to mill a bunch. So activate, effect, discard that, special, mill 3. And then, okay, I mill Black Goat Laughs there, which is good as an interruption. Now I have Scream effect to go ahead and mill 3. And then that mills nothing off of that. Okay. I do have Fenrir Engrave. So I am able to summon my Tier Cash here, which I think is the next play. And then keep the Sharon on the field. Yeah, keep the Sharon on the field. Try to have a little bit of nib protection at least in this spot. So summon out. Go ahead, mill 3. Okay, I mill Shuffler, which is another good interruption. Plus I mill Mally, which this is 2 free bodies. So now, I think before I even go in the Fiendsmith combo, I'm actually going to go Mally into Mally. And then overlay these to go ahead and bring out the Pilgrim Reaper. And then we have the Pilgrim Reaper effect. Usually I do my zones a little bit different. I guess I'm just doing it like this because I'm in solo. But usually I try to summon my XYZ under 2 or 4. And then I'm going to summon my Sprint on 2 or 4. Like it plays around Anima a little bit. It really doesn't matter too much this format. And now here I'm just going to detach Mally. I could detach Shyama because Shyama still has its graveyard effect. If I do get that far in this combo, I guess the thing is, like, yeah, if I get far enough to where I'm seeing my Rhino Heart, maybe I'll just, like, link off my Pilgrim Reaper so I'm able to destroy Kaleido, but I already have Planet, and I already have all my spells and traps in rotation. Yeah, it's 100% Mally. Like, there's no world where it's ever not. I don't even have to link off. Okay, so I mill Engraver there, which even my mills have been a little bit awkward this game, too, but this is fine. Milling just 1 Engraver means that I have the extra Light Fiend that I need for my combo. So now I will go, do I keep this on field? I think I do. Yeah, I don't need the Mally to be Mally anymore. Like, it being a level 6 only comes up for that. So now I'll go into this. And I already have my Dark on the field. I think I just go for the extra mill here. Instead of going for, yeah, I think I go for the extra mill here. I can go into, whoa, not sequence, my bad. You go in the Moon, into Requiem, and then go ahead and make the Lacrima into Engraver. So now I should have 5 in rotation total. Yeah, I have 5 in rotation total, so I still have my Engraver summon back also. So now I'm able to bring this out from the deck, and then I don't have anything good to fusion with yet. So I probably should just be committing my Engraver here. Yeah, I can just commit this. Go ahead, bring out, put back, Requiem equip, effect. Yeah, just go ahead, equip, and then bring out Necro equip. I'm also lagging, so I'm just going to summon that to a random zone. It doesn't matter. I'm going to link it off anyways. So go ahead, bring that out, and then link those off to bring out the sequence. And then I have the sequence effect to put back the double Engraver. And then this will bring out the Aerial Eater. And now I have Aerial Eater effect to go dump. And then this can go ahead and dump the Hollowed. And then I have Hollowed effect, which will allow me to mill 4 because I have Light, Dark, Wind, and Water on the field currently. This also mills if the opponent has any attributes. So this can mill a lot sometimes. But even mill 4 in the spot like this is solid, right? And there we go. I mill Solic plus Havness. So now I'm able to go ahead and Havness, put back, Solic Search. So go ahead. I've already normal summoned though, but this will allow me to set up Kaleido Heart. I'm trying to think if that's even worth it or not at this point, because I have Sprint, and I have Sprint Dump, and I have Dragos to Paleo. I feel like, is it Window or is it Kaleido? I feel like it's Kaleido. I feel like it's Kaleido now and then Window on the opponent's turn. I feel like that's probably the more proper way to put it. No, it probably is Window this turn and then Kaleido on their turn. Yeah, that's probably better overall. Okay. Yeah. I like that. So, Window this turn, Kaleido their turn. So this will be searching Rhino because I'm going to need this to make Kaleido at some point. And then we can go ahead, put back, bring out the Dragos to Paleo. I have no extra bodies in the graveyard right now outside of like Shyama. So now we'll go ahead, use these, and then go ahead, bring out. Yeah, and it's like I don't have anything good to dump off Kaleido. I guess like if I go Sprint, nah, it won't work, right? Um, yeah, it won't work. If I bring out Kaleido and then I Shyama pop Kaleido to get this as a free body, so that way I can end on SP also. I don't think that really does anything, right? Because like my Kaleido's just gonna be dumping Rhino, which I guess puts Rhino in rotation again, but that doesn't do anything once I go through Kaleido. I guess it lets me end on SP also. I guess I could just try to show like me ending on a bigger end board. Yeah, I guess I can just show me ending on like a bigger end board here. So go ahead, dump Murley. Murley effect to go ahead and put back to fuse. But no, I don't think I make Kaleido. I guess it's like fine. It's like the same exact thing as doing it later. Yeah, I guess it really just is like the same exact thing as doing it later. So put back Murley, Turtle, Rhino, bring out Kaleido, and then we could Planet Pop, but we're gonna go Shyama here to pop and then special out, and then Kaleido summon itself out by dumping, and then this will just dump a random name. This will just dump a Rhino Heart. I don't want to dump anything else at this point. I'd rather keep all my names in deck. I don't need to make Kaleido ever again anyways. We have the Trivia Karma from the beginning of the turn to go ahead and search out Solix, so we were able to end on that. We have Tier Cash that can allow us to go ahead and link off into an SP. We have Solic. Like, maybe our zones could have been done a little bit better here. But I think this is like a fine end board. Yeah, like maybe I should have been like summon Sprint over here, summon SP over here, and then have my stuff a little bit more safer over there. But like I said, Anima doesn't come up too much right now anyways. But okay. Yeah, so I was able to get like Dragos to Paleo, SP, Kaleido. I'll have like Scream Mill 3 also. Like just Mill 3 here. Okay, I mill nothing, but at least get like more good card. Well, I guess it gets Engrave. It also just like lowers their attack. And when you have like Screen plus Planet, the attack boost is like insane. It's like an insane difference, especially when you're comparing like Winda. Like Winda's now like really hard to out. I have Solic. It's like another interruption. I have Planet. That's another interruption. I have Shuffler. So I guess I could like put Shuffler here, put Blackout here, put Lacrima there. And these are all just like additional like potential interruptions. So like you can see how like the deck ends on like a pretty big end board. Like that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 interruptions. And then that doesn't even count that the Kaleido Heart will be summoning out Winda. So that's like 8 interruptions plus like a mini floodgate. I call it a mini floodgate, but sometimes this card is like a full floodgate. But sometimes this card's really easy to out. But yeah, I'd say that's like a pretty solid turn 1. And that was like a pretty awkward hand too. Pretty awkward hand, pretty awkward mills for the most part. Well, I wouldn't say for the most part. Like, Milling Mally was really good. They gave me 2 extra bodies. Sometimes the deck's able to combo off like a lot better than this. But yeah, I guess this is just like one of those hands that was awkward. If you want to see me do more test hands with the deck, I'm down to do so. If you want to see me maybe play like a money match with the deck, I could do that and like talk about my plays while I'm playing the money match or something. I'm down to do stuff with this deck. Like, obviously, like, people are going to know I'm playing this deck now, so if I play a money match with it, it's going to be a lot harder for me to win. But I'm fine with that. This deck's really fun. I like playing this deck a lot. It's a really fun deck overall. There's a lot of cool things to do with it. Like, a lot of this isn't standard, like, in this deck. Like, well, I shouldn't say a lot of it isn't standard, but like a lot of the turns, they're very like non-linear. Like you're gonna do things differently every game, but there's some things that do feel similar every game. like go in sequence in the aerial eater and stuff. Like this card, like this package is so broken. I think this makes the deck infinitely better. And if you're not playing it in your tier deck, I think you should be. But okay, that's going to be it for the video. Just wanted to go over a test hand, and I hope everybody has fun playing the deck. I've seen a bunch of people play it on DB rated over the last like 24 hours. Like there's like 5 people that I've seen play it. So hopefully we can, you know, make this deck a little bit more popular, make it a little bit more cooler. I actually think a deck like this is really bad for the game though, but because I think Grass Looks Greener is a very toxic card, because this card's actually just FTK, and if you don't draw Ash, then you just lose the game. But that's going to be it for the video, and with that being said, the GB Grinder signing off. Peace, have a nice day, stay safe.